Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, thank you. You may begin.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. It's impossible for me to fully express how profoundly my family and I have been affected by the loss of my brother Jake. What's been presented in this courtroom doesn't even come close to capturing the depth of cruelty involved nor the life that was taken. My brother, William Embert, known to everyone as Jake, was not just a victim. He was a loving, compassionate, funny, and deeply trusting man who mattered to so many. He enjoyed the everyday parts of living and took joy in the small things, listening to his kids, spending time with his family, and teasing those that he liked. Since he was the baby of my family, he was fairly close in age and had a sibling-type relationship with my oldest nieces and nephews, and they all looked up to him and loved him just as much as I do. Jake was very giving, and as they say, would give you the shirt off his back. He acted in that manner late one night for Susan when she called him in distress. And what she gave him in return was to rob him of all the things that gave him joy and ultimately God's most precious gift, his life. He had a special way of making people feel safe and valued, especially through his amazing hugs. They carried so much warmth and love, and they are something I will greatly miss for the rest of my life. Jake was my only brother, the baby of our family. I helped raise him, and we shared a bond that shaped who I am. We expected to grow old together. We talked about it and made plans, shared laughter, and often leaned on each other through life's hardest moments. The relationship was stolen, and I can never have it replaced. Since my brother was poisoned and murdered, a piece of me went with him and left a permanent absence in my life. I miss him tremendous, not just on holidays, but in the everyday moments when I reach for the phone to think, I need to tell this to Jake, only to remember that he's gone. The way he was killed has made our grief even more unbearable. It shook my faith to its core. He was deliberately poisoned and murdered with malice intent and no chance to protect himself. This was a calculated, premeditated act he suffered while the person responsible, Susan, watched him dying. When the poison didn't work, Susan shot him and staged his death as suicide. This level of cruelty and deception is beyond comprehension. Jake lost his father at the age of 6. I was 12. We were raised by a single mother that took us to church on Sundays, taught us to be kind, to respect the law, and to care for others. Because of that, I will never understand how someone who claimed to love him his own wife could choose to do something so violent, so heinous, and beyond heartless. This was not an accident. It was a deliberate choice that ended his life and shattered ours. Our family has been forever changed. Jake's grandson will not know him. His children married, he wasn't there. Future generations will never know the man who should have been part of their lives. I wear a ring engraved with the words, no farewell words were spoken. No time to say goodbye. You were gone before we knew it, and only God knows why. I wear it as a reminder that although the unbearable pain and suffering that was inflicted on my brother by this monster is unfathomable, I know that he is in a much better place. Jake remembered his vows and trusted the person he loved. That trust was betrayed in the cruelest way possible. His future, the memories, relationships, and life he should have had were taken from him. I respectfully ask that the court to sentence Susan to life in prison without parole, so our family is not forced to relive this trauma again and again. I also ask that the additional 5-year sentence be served consecutively. Jake deserved to live life. He deserves safety, dignity, and the chance to grow old. While nothing can undo what's been done, accountability matters. For my brother, for my family, for justice, so no other family ever has to endure what we have at the hands of pure evil. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
Your Honor, may I speak?
Yes, we have one person in the courtroom that was getting ready to stand up, and then I'll let you go.
They can go.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You can go ahead. He's letting you go first, Mr. Embert. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, if you could just tell me your name, please.
Jessica Parks.
All right. And let me swear you in. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, to help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go ahead, ma'am.
Your Honor, my name is Jessica Parks, and I am here to speak for my uncle Jake, whose life was taken from us in a violent and senseless act. I also speak for our family, who will carry this loss for the rest of our lives. Jake was more than a victim. He was a father, brother, an uncle, and a grandfather to children he never got the chance to meet. He was someone who deeply loved his family and lived for them. Jake was a jokester. He was witty, quick with humor, and always able to make people laugh, even during difficult times. That light is now gone. His voice, his laughter, and his presence have been stolen from us forever. Since his murder, our family has been left with overwhelming grief and lasting trauma. Holidays are painful reminders of who should still be here with us. Ordinary and everyday moments are marked by his absence. We grieve not only Jake's life, but the future he was denied, the memories we will never get to make, the milestones he will never witness, and the grandchildren who will grow up never knowing the love, guidance, and laughter of their grandfather. The defendant made a deliberate choice, one that showed a complete disregard for human life, the choice that permanently altered our family. Mercy was not shown to Jake, and the consequences must reflect the seriousness and finality of what was done. While no sentence can ever bring my uncle back, the court has a responsibility to deliver justice and to protect others from similar harm. For these reasons, I respectfully ask the court to impose a life sentence without the possibility of parole, and that this sentence be served consecutively. The request is not made out of anger or revenge, but out of accountability, justice, and the need to protect the community. Jake cannot speak for himself today, as we are his voice now, and we ask this court to honor his life and his love for his family and the generations he was taken from by ensuring that justice is served to the fullest extent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, my apologies. Just for the record, we need to request that we be allowed to appeal the denial of the motion today, and that would involve the court continuing the sentence. We just need to make that motion for the record, that request.
Say that again.
For the record, we need to request that we be allowed to appeal the denial of the motion, and that would involve continuing the sentencing. I'm sorry, I didn't do that as soon as the motion was denied.
That's denied.
Thank you, Your
We're
Honor.
sentencing today.
Your Honor, I've spoken with the family, and we would like to proceed with the individuals on WebEx first.
Okay. All right. Anyone else on WebEx that would like to speak from the family of Mr. Embert? Okay, yes, I see someone waving. You could go ahead and unmute yourself. Should be able to hit the... Okay, there we go. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth to help you God? All right, go ahead and state your name, and then you can begin. All right, spell your last name, please.
O-W, S as in Sam, I-A, N as in Nancy, Y.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I thank God every day that she was found guilty again of killing Jake. I love him very much, and I know he loved me. You see, Jake was my uncle, my mother's little brother. He was the first positive male role model in my life. I looked up to him. He babysat me as a child. He ratted me out to my mom when he knew I did wrong. He had a nickname for each and every one of us, and he would tease you relentlessly if he liked you. And I think he liked you best. He was close in age to the first four of us cousins, and we all were like brothers and sisters growing up in my nan's home. He and his first wife Betty even took me on their vacation when I was a teenager. As the years passed, Jake and I talked often, joked, and sent jokes through emails to each other. We had the same sense of humor. There was nothing we wouldn't joke about, just to one-up each other to make each other laugh. He had a kind heart, was generous, hardworking, and wouldn't hurt soul. He was well loved by all who knew him. He loved his family, animals, cars, and life. When he first met the defendant, he was so full of life. I was still talking to him and wishing him a happy birthday and happy holidays, but the talk became fewer and far between, and I received no more thank yous from him on my birthday or his birthday, no wishes, no holiday wishes either. I was missing him. I still miss him so very much. He has missed so very much, very much. In the beginning, I tried through Facebook to be friendly to the defendant in hopes that Jake had found a suitable woman. I never had to meet the defendant in person. She took his life before I would meet her at our family reunion scheduled that summer. No, not one time did I ask God why, because I already knew. We missed him so very much for all the reasons I've already stated. This horrific nightmare has left me and my entire family heartbroken, devastated, and traumatized. And just when we were healing, we were alerted that she was let out on a technicality, and that we would have to relive the horror all over again in a retrial. A known convicted murderer was let back out on the streets among my family and your family. I've been in the courtroom through every one of the trials of this murderer, having to look at the devil himself here on earth, listening and trying so hard to keep my composure through the lies told by the defendant in their testimony, all the lies and slimy tactics of the defense attorneys, and the law's censorship of major key evidence. Listening to the way she had poisoned his sweet dog Zoe and had it put down. Painfully listening to the way she had poisoned my Uncle Jake. The pain he was enduring day in and day out while she watched and continued to give him the poison. She watched as he was dying a slow, excruciating, calculated, poison planned death, all in hopes of getting a big payout, and all while draining his bank account and letting his home go into foreclosure. During the last days of his life, she was even trying to get with another man, even on the day of his death. Then, when she was close to being found out, either by the man and the pending blood work on the to be done and killed Jake in cold blood, then staged the scene to look like a suicide. What kind of...
Ma'am, if you would pause if you can hear me, because you've gone out. Your internet is... Just give it a minute to see if it'll come back on.
And the public that knows the whole truth
Ma'am, if you could go back some.
know that she is poisoned.
Ma'am, if you could go back some.
You know that she's poisoned.
She can't hear me. Can you pause one moment, ma'am? Because we had some disturbance in the internet, and we missed some of what you were saying. One of the last things you talked about was the dog, Zoe, and after that there was some break in what you were saying because of this.
Your Honor, can I just, I'm sorry. There's been, these witnesses keep talking about a poisoning theory that they didn't put any evidence on for, that they dismissed because the court found it to be junk science. I feel like I have to put some sort of objection on the record because I understand that the victims can express their beliefs. I just find it concerning that they're talking about things that there hasn't been any evidence to prove.
All right, I didn't find it to be junk science. I excluded it because the lab were not, essentially they were publicly shamed because of some of the other testing that they were doing on other materials that raised the question into their procedures. So I won't say that I found that it was junk science, only that it would have been in the best interest of justice for all parties that that information not be included in this trial. My decision is going to be based upon the charges that they convicted her of, which are the 4 counts: malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, and possession of firearm during a commission of a felony. So the aggravated assault charge that was not presented to the jury, I won't be making any determination on that. However, they can speak to how this crime has impacted them in their position. I'm not going to censor their statements so they can proceed. I will be sentencing only on the 4 charges that the jury found her guilty of, not the aggravated assault charge that was excluded from the case. Thank you. All right, ma'am, you can proceed.
I'll go back to the drawing.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for letting me gain my composure again.
It's okay.
Listening to the way she had poisoned his sweet dog Zoe and had it put down. Painfully listening to the way she had poisoned my Uncle Jake. The pain he was enduring day in and day out while she watched and continued to give him the poison. She watched as he was dying a slow, excruciating, calculated, poisoning planned death in all hopes of getting a big payout, and all while draining his bank account and letting his home go into foreclosure. During his last days, he was even trying to get with another man, even on the day of his death. Then, when she was close to being found out by the other man and the pending blood work to be done next week, she shot and killed Jake in cold blood, then staged the scene to look like a suicide. What kind of human being does this to another unassuming, undeserving, well-loved human being? It's pure evil, Your Honor, and she has no remorse, none. The defendant, myself, my family, certain court personnel, the media, and the public that knows the whole truth know that she poisoned, shot, and killed Jake, and that the defendant deserves, at the very least, the maximum allowable sentence for this heinous murder. It is so unjust that she put my Uncle Jake to death and she gets to live. Please, I implore you to give her life in prison without the possibility of parole. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Anyone else online from the family? I see it looks like there's several people on. I'm just not sure if you all have a list of who's going to be speaking.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe that's it for the online
Okay.
for the state's portion. I believe.
Okay, that's it for online. All right, anyone present in the courtroom to speak?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let me put you under oath, ma'am. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you
Yes.
swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
And your name?
My name is Connie Duke Patterson.
All right, you can proceed.
Thank you. I know you probably don't know who I am, but after meeting Jake Embert at the Marine Corps Logistics Base here in Albany, 2014, we developed a great friendship. Jake was known for his kindness, hard work, fun nature, and his loss impacted lives of many. I helped Jake during a life-threatening heart attack, April 2014. When Jake returned to work 6 weeks later, the full impact of my assistance became evident. Jake's gratitude was humbling. I was relieved he was in recovery. However, the news of his death caused immense pain, and justice has once again been done. Rachel, Will, Yvonne, as well as the entire Embert family hold a special place in my heart forever. In fact, they have become my extended family. Jake's memory will live forever. He will be cherished and his legacy will live forever also. Susan, I pray the weight of your selfish actions remains with you until your final breath. Your Honor, I ask that Susan be sentenced to life in prison without any possibility of parole, justice for Jake. Thank you, Your Honor, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you. All right. All right, let me put you on oath. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
All right.
I got it on my phone here.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. June of this year will make 12 years that my dad has not been on this earth. 12 long years. All because of Susan. Susan robbed my dad and I of many things. I was only 17 years old when Susan killed my dad, and that closed many chapters in my book, in the book of my life as it was just beginning. 17 years old is a very delicate and volatile age for a man to learn lessons from his father. Lessons that I've had to learn on my own without him or his guidance, being that he was the one that I looked to for advice. My earliest memories that I have, my dad is in them. He was always present, always involved, and always there no matter what. It's very odd for a teenager to have one of their parents as a best friend. Most teenagers are trying to get away from their parents any chance they get, but not me. My dad was and still is my best friend. My wife said there's an empty hole in my heart and an empty seat at our table. My wife will never truly know her father-in-law. Our children will never know their grandfather. And all they know is memories that I and my family have, which are just stories to them, all because of what you stole from us. There are no words that could describe the pain that I feel inside. The same pain that I've had since June 28th, 2014. You remember that day, don't you, Susan? That's the reason why we're all here today. Because of what you did. I know that I'll never forget that day. In fact, I have that date tattooed on my arm. I'm not the only one with that date tattooed on my body. There are others with that same date tattooed permanently on their body and brain as well. And they weren't even related to my dad. That's the man that you took from not only me and my family, but from this world. You have no idea how many lives my dad has touched before and after his death. That shows you the kind of man that he was. I know we are not the first family to fall victim to you. My dad was not the first of your husbands to die of natural causes or the matter of death be undetermined. But I know for a fact he will be the last. She is scum of the earth, a liar, a thief, a murderer. She's trash. In my opinion, you do not deserve to walk freely on this earth or to even draw breath. Your Honor, my family is requesting the maximum sentence for each of the charges that Susan is being charged with. I, on the other hand, don't believe our tax dollars are worth housing and feeding her. Like it says in the Bible, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, blood for blood. Your Honor, I know that the death penalty isn't on the table, but if it were up to me, that would be my punishment. My family is requesting life imprisonment, prison without the possibility of parole. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else from the Mr. Embert's family?
Raise your right hand, please.
Yes, ma'am.
You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You're Miss Rachel Embert.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Honorable Judge Victoria Johnson. My name is Rachel Embert, and I am the daughter of William Jake Embert. Your Honor, before I speak of the violence that stole my father's life from us, I must speak of God. Because without God's guidance, my family would not be standing here. God has been the core, the sole core of our survival. For 12 grueling years, we have lived suspended in this trauma. God has held and carried us when our world was shattered on June 28th of 2014. God sustained us when grief was suffocating. God became each individual breath that we took when the air was knocked out of our lungs. God anchored us when lies buried the truth and justice was delayed repeatedly. It is from that sacred place of unwavering faith that I speak the truth and only the truth. My father mattered to God. His life had purpose. He did not choose this. He did not cause this, and he did not deserve this. Lord, guide me, God. Guide me, God. Susan took my father's life through unspeakable evil. You poisoned him. You shot him. And then you staged the scene to make it look like my father committed this horrific act against himself. That is incomprehensible. It is unfathomable. It's devastating, and it has shattered my family's heart indefinitely. What Susan did was calculated. Susan's actions were malicious, they were intentional, they were methodical, and they were deliberate. This is evil in its most malignant form. Evil is knowing exactly what you're doing, deciding to do it anyway, and then lying without conscience while others, my family, has suffered at your hands. Susan embodies that definition through these actions. And through what followed after she murdered my father, she lied repeatedly. You have lied. You have told a voluminous plethora of lies to avoid accountability. I'm not even sure you understand what accountability is. You have distorted the truth. And through it all, you've not shown or displayed one minuscule ounce of remorse for what you took from my family. Susan's very own words revealed her abandoned heart when she said that she was too smart to spend her last days here on earth in jail. That statement, it's not casual, it's revealing. It speaks to arrogance, entitlement, and a pathetic belief that consequences do not apply. Susan is a heartless monster. She did not just take my father's life away from me and my family. You took my father's life away from my child. I am now forced to explain my father's absence to my innocent 6-year-old child. I am forced to answer questions to him that break my heart. I hate you for that. And I don't hate anything, but I hate you. Your Honor, we've been forced to watch this violence echo into the next generation. This is not a temporary pain. This is permanent, generational devastation that have altered our lives forever. I wish I was able to rewind the hands of time. From here on, I will keep my father's light, honorable, kind-hearted nature, and cherish those memories through actions that he instilled in me as a human being. And I will display that in every single thing I do in this world. Your Honor, I plead to you and before this court to please impose the maximum allowable sentence, life without the possibility of parole, served consecutively, not concurrently, so Susan is permanently removed from society and never again has the opportunity to harm, to manipulate, or destroy another family. Justice demands permanent, protection demands finality, and my father deserves nothing less. God bless you and thank you for that.
All right. Anyone else from Mr. Embert's side of the family?
I believe that's it from Mr. Embert's family, Your Honor.
All right. And from Ms. Embert, anything that needs to be said?
Yes, Your Honor. Some of her family members have written letters, but could not make it. So I'd ask to read some of those letters.
Okay. I see some people on. I'm not sure if any of those are some of the individuals.
Yeah, there are some individuals who, on the WebEx, who are able to read their own letters, but for the ones who are not, I would ask to read them.
Okay. Any objection from the state on those?
No objection.
Okay.
Okay.
If you could just identify who the individual is.
So this first letter is from Pamela Danford. It says, "My name is Pamela Danford. I am Susan's baby sister. My sister is a godly woman and loves with her whole heart. Over the past 12 years or so, Susan has served 5 years on house arrest and 5 years in prison. And while on house arrest, she ran the Bread of Life for the First Baptist Church. While in prison, Susan started a women's ministry to help people, including herself, cope. My mom had a stroke when she went to prison, and it is tearing her apart now. I am asking the court to please have mercy and grace on the sentence today. I love my sister dearly. Thank you, Pam." This next letter is from Ronald Milton. First and foremost, I want to start by saying, my name is Ron Milton, Susan Embert's son. I want to start by saying to the Emberts that I am sorry for your loss. It has been a very hard time for some of you, I am sure, as it has been for my mom's loved ones too. All I can say is stay in touch with your loved ones and reach out more to each and every one of them, because I'm sure you all love Jake as my mom did too. And to Will, I know my mom loved you. Now, on my mom's behalf, she is not the monster you all are making her out to be, and it is hard on both sides of the family. But take in consideration of her family. Also, we are all hurting from this as well. I don't think it is right to hurt me and my sister. I love you, Mom. I always will, but I do not think you could ever do anything like this. And I don't think it is right to make us all suffer so bad. So, Mom, I just want to tell you, me and your family loves you. And then I have...
Would those letters be input into the record in terms of putting that in, since they're not here? Will you be...
I can send a copy of the letters over later.
Okay. I mean, whatever you have can be put in as an exhibit since you're reading it.
Yes.
Okay.
This one is from Carolyn Milton. It says, Judge, I am sending this letter as a character reference for my sister, Susan Embert. She has been fighting an uphill battle for more than 10 years. She served 5 years house arrest and 5 years in prison. With this third trial / sentencing looming, I am asking for mercy when passing down the sentence. My parents and her parents are very old, and I would hate that she never saw them again. And again, I am asking for mercy during sentencing. And then I believe that's it for the letters, and that there are some people on WebEx who would like to speak.
Okay.
All right. Jan Harris, if you could unmute yourself.
All right, Ms. Harris, if you're, you would just need to unmute yourself, please.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth to help you God? Okay. You can proceed.
Your Honor, my name is Jan Harris. I'm Susan Embert's aunt. Of course, I've known and loved Susan her entire life. Your Honor, I speak these words for my sister also, Susan's mother, who had a stroke after the last trial and is unable to speak. Susan has always been a loving and caring person. She is not the murderer monster that they have made her out to be. Susan was a home health nurse working with the elderly patients. She didn't lie about that either. Susan is a loving mother, daughter, grandmother, sister. She is a Christian who studies the Bible at all times. Her faith has been strong throughout these 12 years. If not, she couldn't have taken this, and none of us could have either. But I have never known her to be a manipulative or heartless person. The past 12 years have been so hard on everyone involved. Throughout it all, Susan has tried to remain strong, not just for herself, but her family, who she has spent years being apart from. First time she went to prison, she reflected on everything that had happened, practiced her faith, and was placed in the honor dorm, where she taught the Bible to other inmates. She believes that God has a reason for everything he does, even if some other people in our family and the others don't see that. When I look in my heart, I can't say that I think this jury got it right, because they got it so wrong. She was not proven by any means guilty of anything. But when I go for the past several years, Susan has spent her time trying to become a better, kinder, and more forgiving and more loving person. Your Honor, I'm asking you to please show mercy and compassion when sentencing Susan. I know you have to give her life, but please, life with parole. My sister is old. She needs her daughters and her children around her to take care of her, and so does the rest of her family. I believe in her innocence. I always have. I've been in every trial, in every courtroom that she's been in, and I have not seen anything that's proven her put a gun in her hand and shot Jacob. And I'm sorry that he is gone, but you know what? People commit suicide every day, and nobody wants to accept it. Nobody. Georgia, Judge, I'm asking again, please show mercy and compassion when sentencing Susan. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. If you would raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And I just want to say that I don't know, get taken into consideration. She's not just a convict. She's not just a criminal. She's a mom and she's a grandma, and we all want to see her again one day. So if you could take that into account when you sentence her. Like she's my best friend. Like my confidant. She's who I call for everything in my life. And now I can't pick up the phone and call her.
Miss Wood, could you just identify who you are?
I am Miss Embert's daughter. And like I said, my mom's always been there for me no matter what. She's never casted judgment. She's a great mom and a great grandma. And we all need her in our life. Sorry. But I guess that's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you.
And I do believe there are two other people who may want to speak. Glenn Melton, I don't know if you've prepared a statement or would like to speak.
All right. Mr. Melton, is Mr. Melton on?
He appears to be on. I'm not sure. I just wanted to verify if he wanted to speak, since he is on.
Is that the one you read a letter from?
No, that's a different
one. Okay.
Different Melton.